Henderson. Seems like everybody wants to know about Henderson, Nevada. Well, in this video, we're gonna find out, is Henderson heaven or hell? And if you stick to the end, I'm gonna let you in on the truth about a little area of Henderson that gets a bad rap. So let's jump into it right now. And right off the bat, let's just jump into it. One of the biggest draws of Henderson is that it is the second safest large city in America. Now, this goes back to a couple of years ago, Forbes named Henderson as the second safest city in America. Now, you would think that, okay, things have changed over time. Well, in 2021, Advisor Smith came out with their list and ranking of the top safest cities in America, and the second safest large city again in America was Henderson, Nevada. Look, Henderson is its own city, so they have their own police department. They have all their own county, or not county, but city government agencies, and they work very hard to make Henderson a very safe city, and obviously the dividends are paying off. For it to be named the second safest city multiple years is just fantastic, and it shows that they reinvest and continue to keep Henderson a safe area, and one of the reasons why people and families love to move to Henderson. Who doesn't want to be in a safe area? So now that we got safety out of the way, and again, second safest city in America, that's pretty cool. But let's move on to something else. And let me just take a step back here for a second, and let me bust one of the myths that a lot of people have about Henderson. See, I get a lot of people who relocate and are asking about different areas in the Las Vegas area in particular. And one of the things that a lot of people seem to think is that Henderson is its own separate entity and it's not part of Las Vegas. Well, that's actually not the truth. You see, the Las Vegas area is really a valley. So we call it the Las Vegas Valley. And that's because it's a very small geographic area. It's 28 miles tall by about 26 to 28 miles wide. So it's a really little compact area, and we're surrounded by mountains, okay? Henderson is inside of that valley. Everything inside of that valley is really the Las Vegas Valley area. Now, Henderson is its own city, like I mentioned before. So we have three cities here in the Las Vegas area. We have Henderson, the city of North Las Vegas, and the actual city of Las Vegas, which doesn't encompass the rest of it. The rest of the areas that are outside of those city limits are unincorporated Clark County, and they have their own geographic regions and councilmen and council people on each of those different areas. But people seem to think that Henderson is far removed from Vegas, and that is not really true. Henderson is part of that Las Vegas Valley ecosystem. You're 10 to 15 minutes away from this strip, a little bit longer depending on where you live, but you still get action of all the Las Vegas things that you want to do without living in the close areas. And again, you're living in the second safest city. Hello, good deal. And the next thing that I get a lot of questions on is, how are the schools in Henderson? Now, Henderson is part of Clark County. Again, remember, we have this little geographic area known as the Las Vegas Valley, and that is Clark County. Now, Clark County goes outside of that Las Vegas Valley area, but for the most part, everything is within that Las Vegas Valley area. There is only one school district that covers all of Clark County. That means Henderson, North Las Vegas, the city of Las Vegas, and the unincorporated parts of Clark County are all governed and controlled by the Clark County School District. That being said, you have a lot of different and diverse areas throughout the Las Vegas Valley, and it changes the ratings. But if you go to a place like greatschools.org and you look at the school ratings in different areas, you have to go, let me take it back. you have to go and look at school by school ratings and rankings rather than a district as a whole here in the Las Vegas area. And when you do that, and you go, like I said, to like a greatschools.org or some of these other rating organizations that look at, you know, the quality of the teachers, the student to teacher ratio, all of the different things that go with it. And you look at the schools in Henderson, and they are fantastic. If you look at this map, you'll see how many schools are from 7 to 10, and really look at how many of them are in that 8, 9, 10 rating here in the Henderson area. And our next thing on our heavenly list for here in Henderson is, it's actually heaven for all of Nevada, but it really makes a difference in Henderson too, and that is the state of Nevada has no state income tax. What does that mean? That means if you're relocating from a place like California, Hawaii, Oregon, New Jersey, any of these types of places, you are going to see a huge boost to your personal income because you're not going to have to pay state income tax. For example, the top rate in California is 13.3%, Hawaii 11%, 10.75% in New Jersey, 9.9% in Oregon. You move, and with today, which is really cool, there's so much remote work available, and a lot of employers are allowing their employees to work remotely. If you can transfer from a California, a Hawaii, an Oregon, a New Jersey, and you can move to Nevada and to Henderson, you literally get a 10 to 13% pay raise just by moving. But wait, there's more, and I'll get to that in just a second. Because before we jump to the second big part of why it's so awesome to move to Henderson, why Henderson has a lot going for it on the heavenly side, is that there are things for you to do galore. Look, one of the big things we love to do, we love to go out and eat, we love to go out and mingle, we love to go out with friends and do that. We have actually a really cool and vibrant craft brewery community here in Henderson. There's a couple of great ones. Actually, there's several great ones, but some of the top ones are Mojave Brewing, Lovely Lady, Craft House. All of these are little microbreweries that they have fantastic beer, obviously, but it's also a fantastic place to go and socialize and be with your community and be with your friends and be with your people and enjoy a drink and enjoy some food and enjoy a night out. On top of that, we actually have our own wineries here. The one that comes to mind is the Vegas Valley Winery, but on top of that, there are lots of wine bars here. One that I really like, and it's at the Green Valley Ranch Casino, Resort and Casino. And Green Valley Ranch is amazing. It's a great place to go, but they have Bottiglia there, which is an Italian restaurant. But their wine selection and their wine bar within Bottiglia is fantastic. It's great if you just want to go share some apps, just chill for a little while. They've got couches that you can go and hang out at, in addition to the regular dining options. Fantastic place. So like I said, we got craft breweries, we got wineries. What else do you need? What are you waiting for? This is heaven. Henderson is it. But if craft beer is not your thing and wineries are not your thing, or they are, but you love the outdoors, we've got lots of outdoors. There are 180 plus miles of trails, walking, biking, hiking trails in Henderson. On top of that, you are very close in Henderson, depending on where you are in Henderson. Now, Henderson is a pretty big section of the Las Vegas Valley. It takes up about a third of that 28 by 26 mile radius there, and it just encompasses a lot. But depending on where you are very close to Lake Mead. Look, you just get on St. Rose and you take that all the way to Lake Mead Parkway. You take that all the way to the lake, boom, boom, you're there. Now, our lake is a little bit low right now, but there is still boating. There is still a lot of stuff to do on the lake. And as we fill up over time, it is going to become even more. Look, some of my fondest memories are going jet skiing, boating, water skiing, all of those fun things out on the lake. Fishing, have good fishing in the lake too. There's a lot to do there. On top of that, you're close to Red Rock Canyon. Red Rock Canyon is on the west side. Henderson's on the east side, Summerlin is on the west side, Red Rock Canyon is on the west side closer to Summerlin. But with our freeway system, it's a super easy, fast drive to get to Red Rock Canyon. Probably, depending on where you're coming from Henderson, it's gonna take you 20 minutes, maybe 30 minutes to get to Red Rock Canyon. And inside of Red Rock Canyon, there's fantastic trails. There's fantastic driving loop there. There's just a lot to do there. On top of that, before you get to the canyon, to the park part of the canyon, there's a fantastic outdoor gun range there, and you can go out there. Now, it is a private club, so you do have to know somebody or get an invite to get there, but it's a fantastic shooting range out there as well, and you can go to town out there with just about anything that you have. And then, you know, you think about here and you think about being in Henderson and Las Vegas and the whole area, and you think desert. But 45 minutes away, less than 45 minutes away, you can get from Henderson to Mount Charleston. Now, Mount Charleston is our local mountain here, and it's one of those mountains that ranges that go around the city and the Las Vegas Valley area. Mount Charleston has skiing during the winter, snow play during the winter, cabins. It has a great lodge there. Now, part of it burned down, but they are rebuilding it. There was a lot going on, but they are rebuilding that and going to make it even bigger and better. But there is still a lot of places to go and stay at Mount Charleston if you don't want to just go for a day trip. On top of that, during the summer, it is a fantastic place to go for a couple of different reasons. One, they have great hiking there. One of my favorites, Mary Jane Falls. Just a fantastic hike to go and do. A little bit strenuous, a little bit, a more difficult hike, but it's all switchbacks. It's just really, it's a big climb. But once you get to the top, the payoff is there because there's a little waterfall there, and I will generously call it a waterfall. Depends on what time of the year you go and how much snowpack is melting to make the waterfall. But it's still a fun place to go. Bring your lunch up there, go check out the beauty and the nature, and you are 45 minutes away from that. Literally, you're 45 minutes away from any of the big outdoor recreation areas when you live in Henderson. And if hiking isn't your thing, but golf is, man, you are in luck. Henderson has some of the best golf courses in all of Las Vegas. So there's Dragon Ridge, which is a country club. There's Desert Willow. There's Legacy. There's Wild Horse. There's Anthem Country Club. There's Revere, and there's Rio Seco, and I think that hits the majority of them. I may be missing a couple. But if golf is your thing, literally, no matter where you are, some of them are public, some of them are private. Legacy and Wild Horse are definitely public courses, so you can get on there. But if golf is your thing, you're going to have a place within minutes of your home to go golfing. It is a fantastic area, and golf courses are a big part of it. And let's not forget one of the coolest attractions to come to the Henderson area, and that is the Las Vegas Raiders training facility. So as you may know, the Raiders moved to Las Vegas. They play at Allegiant Stadium. Allegiant Stadium is right at the end of the strip. It's on the strip, and the strip, depending on where you are in Henderson, is about a 15-minute ride from, the middle part of Henderson to get to the strip. So you're about 15 minutes from where they play game day. But their training facility is this ginormous building. It is huge and beautiful. And it is right there in one of the newer parts of Henderson, right off of, it's between St. Rose and Volunteer, off of Via Inspirata. It is a fantastic building. You can drive by, you can check it out. It's just a fantastic facility. And during training camp, they do allow the public in to see the practices in the training camp, which is pretty cool. So if you're not going to the games, you can go see them practice and get ready before the season starts. Now, I believe, if I'm not mistaken, it was, and it may have changed, but they let people in for free to the training camp. You just had to get a ticket, so it's basically a reservation system to get in there. But you can go and check out the Raiders in their training facility at that big, gorgeous building, for definitely parts of the year. Fantastic, cool thing. And let me tell you, there's a lot, because that's there is a lot of Raiders associated businesses close by. For example, the Raiders Lounge is right there at the M Casino, which is in one of the newest parts of Henderson, and it's right there on Las Vegas Boulevard and St. Rose. So that is, they have the Raiders Lounge. There's tie-ins with a lot of different businesses around, but specifically in Henderson, they also have their own minor league hockey team, which is the minor league for the Vegas Golden Knights. So we have the Vegas Golden Knights, which is our NHL team, and our minor league team, which are the Silver Knights, and they play at the Dollar Loan Center Arena. Now, the Dollar Loan Center Arena is right kitty corner to Green Valley Ranch Resort. I've mentioned that a couple times. Fantastic place. So Green Valley Ranch Resort, there's the Dollar Loan Center. You can go and check out games there. It's a lot less expensive than going to a Vegas Golden Knights game. And they are just as fun. Some say even more fun than going to a Vegas Golden Knights game. On top of that, they have lots of concerts. They have lots of different things at the Dollar Loan Center Arena that make it for it to be a great place to go. The only thing that they're still working on is their parking there. Maybe we'll throw that on the hellish list. But it was built after the fact, and the way that it's designed, you need to give yourself some time if you're going to the Dollar Loan Center Arena to get parking there. Or you can park at Green Valley Ranch and walk. Maybe it's a quarter of a mile walk, not very far at all. Or at the District right there. A lot of different options. Anyways, so as you can see, there are an absolute ton of things on our heavenly list for Henderson. And if you can think of any others that we should put on the heavenly list, go ahead and drop them in the comments below. And if you're digging what you've seen so far, go ahead and hit subscribe, tap that bell for notifications, and you'll be getting more of me, more of my take on different things. But that's the heavenly part. What are the not so heavenly parts? What should be on our hellish list about moving to Henderson? Okay, one of the big things is, like I alluded to before, Henderson is a big part of the Las Vegas Valley. It takes up about a third of the entire geography, that 28 by 26 part that we call the Las Vegas Valley. And Henderson is a big chunk of that. That means there's a lot of different areas. The Strip, let's just talk about that. The Strip, where if you're a tourist, that's pretty much all you know of Las Vegas. You know over this little 3.5 mile strip of Las Vegas, and you forget that there's a whole life outside of that area. But if you live here and you want to go to the Strip, or you want to go to some of those downtown areas, you want to go to some of that stuff that's more centrally located and caters, more to the tourists. But as a resident, sometimes we want to go do those things. Depending on where you live in Henderson, it can be a bit of a drive. On top of that, look, there are so many people moving to Henderson and that have moved to Henderson. Look, one of the big things about Henderson and why it's a little more expensive, and we'll talk about that, than other places, is because once people move to Henderson, they don't move out of Henderson. There's not a lot of attrition in the Henderson area. So the supply is a little bit lower than other parts of Las Vegas. But because of that, and because we keep adding people to Henderson, sometimes the traffic gets a little bit backed up. Look, Vegas is easy to get around to when you're getting from one area to another. We have a great freeway system. You take the 215, it borders all the way around. You take the 15, goes right through the middle, and the 95 crosses over. But you take those and you can get anywhere in the general vicinity within under a half hour from one side of the city to the other. It's a little bit different story once you get off the freeway. The side streets are definitely a little more congested than the freeway. Our freeways are easy breezy. 65, no. It's 80 here. Don't tell the cops in Henderson that I said that. But that being said, there's traffic, but it's not horrible. You just gotta deal with it. On top of that, there's some developments. For example, Anthem, which is one of the newest, nicest areas in Henderson, and it's down in the southeast corner of Henderson. So you have Anthem and then you have Inspirata. Well, Anthem really has one entrance in and out of it, and there are a lot of houses in there. So all of that traffic feeds in and goes down to Eastern. Now they've changed it a little bit because they've added some thoroughfares to get onto Las Vegas Boulevard and to get to the 215. And that was because they're doing so much new construction and new building in the newest area of Henderson, and that's Inspirata, that they needed a way for that traffic to get out and into the flow of the whole Las Vegas area. But you can run into a little bit of traffic throughout there. The other thing is, and it runs on the same issue, because everybody wants to be in Henderson, because nobody leaves Henderson, and because Henderson is such a destination for people relocating their families here, there is a little bit higher cost of living. Look, Las Vegas in general has a fantastic cost of living index. We're, depending on which survey you look at, we're about 100 to 105-ish on the cost of living index. The average for the United States is 100. So we're just a little bit above the national average. Now, Henderson, however, is about 5 to 8% higher than that. And a big part of that is the little bit higher per square foot price for homes there. And again, it goes back to supply and demand. Everybody is demanding the move to Henderson, and there just isn't enough supply. That's why places like Inspirata, that's like places that's on the southeast side. If you go towards the north of Henderson, you have new building going on at a place like Cadence, which is one of the big master plan communities. So they are trying to continue to grow Henderson and accommodate that. But right now, there's just not enough inventory. And this is even now that we're talking. There's not enough inventory for the people that are moving in. So you still have higher per square foot price than you do in a lot of other parts of Las Vegas. Now, there's some other areas that are definitely even more expensive than Henderson. But for the most part, Henderson is on that top or upper end of that bracket of the cost of living versus the cost of living in general here in Las Vegas. But not much. You're about a 5 to 8%. But if we go back to that state income tax situation that we talked about on our heavenly list, 13.3% pay raise, take it any day, and I'll pay a little bit more than the rest of Las Vegas, which is already way lower than the cost of living in parts of California. The other big thing is the big thing with the Las Vegas area in general, and that is we do get hot here. Look, last year it got up to 117 for several days. But that's okay. We were built, it's not like this is a new phenomenon here in Las Vegas and Henderson. We understand the heat, we know how to deal with it. We have entertainment, things to do, both inside, outdoors, pools, all of those different things that you do. Not only that, but it is only 3 to 4 months of the year that it's hot like that. On the other end of the spectrum, it does get cold here in Henderson during the winter. Now, I say cold. if you're coming from a place like Idaho, our cold is, you're probably, tank top and shorts kind of day. But for us, it does get a little bit cold, and you do have to wear a jacket sometimes. It can get into the high 30s here, and occasionally, every several years, we do get a little bit of snow here. Definitely not a snowstorm, definitely no chains, definitely you're gonna have to scrape to make a snowball. But we do get a little bit cold and a little bit windy sometimes. So those are the things you have to think about as far as weather, and we'll put that on the hellish list, even though it's like a purgatory list. And let me finally get to that one area of Henderson that gets a bad rap, and that is a place that that locals here in Las Vegas affectionately refer to as Hendertucky. Hendertucky, you go, oh my gosh, what the hell? Ding, 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 ding. It's not like that. It just happens to be one of the original areas of Henderson. Now, Henderson was established in 1953, so it's been around a while. Hendertucky is one of those original areas. But there's some great things about being in that area. Now, where it is, it's just east of Lake Mead, north of the freeway there. And, it encompasses really that Lake Mead. That used to be nothing out there. You took Lake Mead. Lake Mead is now called inside of Henderson, and inside of the city is called St. Rose. But Lake Mead used to run all the way from the 15 all the way out to Lake Mead. Shock. So that being said, if you go on the east side, right? It's the east side. The east side of Lake Mead, you're going to find some older homes, and homes that were developed when there were fewer HOAs. There were less restrictions as to what you could do in a home and how you could build on your property. So you're going to see different things out there than you would in, say, an Anthem, Seven Hills, an Inspirata, where HOAs dictate, what things can look like and what things can do. That being said, it's a great area with a lot of real potential. So out in that area on the other side of Lake Mead, they are developing one of the biggest master plan communities in all of Henderson right now, and that is Cadence. Cadence is fantastic. Some of the builders there are Lennar, Toll Brothers. You have all kinds of great building out there in Cadence. And then on top of that, you have Tuscany. Tuscany is this fantastic, which I didn't mention the Tuscany golf course, or did I? I can't remember. But Tuscany has a fantastic golf course and a fantastic neighborhood. It is guard gated. It is amazing. Then you go a little bit farther and you go to Lake Las Vegas, and there are just some real humdingers up there. It is beautiful, gorgeous, has its own man-made lake, has guard gates throughout most of their developments, or in everything there is gated. And all of those new developments and all of that new construction going on and the upgrading, they have also new infrastructure. They've got new stores, new everything going out that way. It's where the development pattern is happening. There are some fantastic opportunities over there, both to live and as investment opportunities for the little bit longer term. So Hendertucky gets a bad rap. It is not deserved, and although humorous, probably not what it should be called. It should be called older Henderson, more mature Henderson, something a little more PC for today. So those are really the only things that would go on the hellish list for Henderson. And as you can see, there are a lot more things on the heavenly list than on the hellish list for Henderson. It's just a fantastic place to go. And it's a reason why here, Henderson, 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 Henderson. You either hear Henderson, 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 or Summerlin, Summerlin, Summerlin. And to be honest, that's we're a lot of people who are relocating to here. And if you don't know who I am, my name's Anthony Candela. I'm a former attorney turned real estate professional who's made a career both as an attorney and as a realtor of helping people relocate and move to different cities, whether it's to here in Las Vegas or anywhere really across the country. I've got you covered. In fact, it's the reason why I've become known as the Relocation King. If you're thinking about relocating and you want to make your relocation easy, go ahead and get a hold of me and my team. My contact information is in the description below. Or really the easiest thing to do is just go to therelocationking.com, book a call with us, with me or with one of my team, and we will make your move go as smooth as possible. But that's going to wrap it up for me today on my hellish and heavenly list for Henderson. Like I said, I think the heavenly wins. It's a reason why so many people want to move here. But that'll do it for today. And if I don't see you in the neighborhood, I'll see you on the next video. Thanks for watching.